I've got to market myself. And I think that started at really, to me, it was a young age in sports and being a captain of my teams and leading other groups in school and going to college. And I think marketing really comes into to be authentic. And that's what I look at myself as, an authentic leader or authentic marketer, is you really got to believe in your product, you got to believe in yourself, and you've got to really love others, and you got to love people, and you got to be able to learn how to connect with them. And I think that's a foundation of any good marketer. There's a lot of tools and a lot of CRMs, and there's a lot of things you can throw into it. You can go to school and you can get key buzzwords, but to truly be authentic, you really got to believe in yourself, and it's got to start at with confidence in yourself and having some success. And for me, that happened at a really young age. For SeaTrust is, how do we get our message and our culture, our vision out to our customers and the stakeholders. So it really doesn't even go just to the customer. It's every stakeholder within the supply chain of getting a mortgage. So for us to be successful is, how can we send out the communication that's relevant, that has that relevant content at the right time, and how can we actually take this to not only the customer, but to our real estate partners, to our builders, to the attorneys that close our loans, to the all the other referral partners, and to our employees, and everyone, again, as I say, within the stakeholder chain. So that's my expectation of the marketing team and what we expect out of marketing. And obviously then there's the follow-up, and make it somewhat almost task driven, that we send out, how do we do the follow-ups? I mean, it's great to throw things up on the wall and market, and it looks real clean and pretty, but we've got to have some good follow-up, and those are the things that I look for out of marketing. How does our company utilize its technology even with marketing is it's really hands-on and touch. And we like to look at the way we do business right now is we've got what we call a do-it-yourself mortgage. We want to be able to have technology where a customer, a realtor partner, or any of our referral partners can actually apply for a loan on their handheld device, and how they can put the information, make it user-friendly, very legible. I like using the word Crayola. I like big pictures, buttons that you can just choose. And I want everything as easy as possible for the customer and everybody within the chain. So the expectation of that, how our technology is, customers are able to do that. We can leave them alone, but we could just kind of monitor how the process is working. And if somebody falls off the rails, we're there to catch them and to support them as a human, and still have that service and that obsessed customer, service that we have and we've learned to love and really perform. But beyond that, we really try to make this as easy as possible for the customer to apply, and then to get status alerts and updates as their process goes. So now they're getting milestone alerts. So they don't have to get bothered while they're at work or in between a conference call, because everybody's got a busy life. But now they can get an alert on an email or a short little video, because we love that. We love to humanize everything we do. And they can open it up at their time, and they can say, oh gosh, this is great. Appraisal was just ordered, or great, it just cleared underwriting conditions, clear to close, and oh, it's just ready to schedule. I mean, if we can hit all those touch points and milestones where the customer can see those, and it gets delivered in the way that they like to communicate, then we've fulfilled our goals. If anything, how do we keep the team on brand or on message with constant and concise and consistent communication? One of the things that we do, and with intentionality, is we do video calls daily with our team. And it's amazing. And I was a little, I've been doing this for now 30 years, and I've owned some of the largest mortgage companies for years in the past. And as you get into, this pandemic, you worry about, are we going to lose that collaboration that you see face to face, and you see the whites in each other's eyes. This whole thing called Zoom that we're on right now has allowed us, if we're intentional, has allowed us to keep us connected, so we can still see the facial expressions, we can still see the heartbeats to an extent, and the whites in each other's eyes, to really keep the message clear and concise. Because texting and emails, as we all know, people can receive those differently. So we have done a really good job. Every morning we've got a video huddle that we work with the team, and it's very participatory. So that's what we feel like. We walk out of this and think, gosh, our team is as tight and as close as when I had 400 people in one campus. So we've had a lot of success with that. Let's just start with operations. Operations would be our pull-through, because that's important for our investors, or any type of securitization, or our mandatory deliveries with our broker dealers. Is what is our pull-through? I mean, and then that goes back in our time of our operations as well. So, how quickly are we taking it from, cradle to grave? How, we're manufacturing this product, how fast does it come out of, processing to underwriting, and underwriting into closing, and et cetera. And so we have so many different milestones that we measure and continually try to improve up until, so we can get that final product out, and how we can continue to deliver a great product to our investors. Beyond that, then there's the sales side, is how many relationships are we getting, how many calls? I mean, these are different matrix and cadence that's important for us if we really want to gain market share within the communities that we serve, and obviously we're serving nationwide. So those are important. How much are we really following up? What added values are we doing with our partners within those communities? So those are measurements. And then the third measurement is, what are we doing within our communities beyond originating a loan? How are we being responsive and responsible community citizens? If we tag ourselves as a very communal culture, and communal meaning very community, how do we measure ourselves with what we're doing beyond the four walls that we come to work every day? How do we help in the community beyond, our incredible service, our great rates, and providing, financing for the homeownership dream? So those are we categorize those in three different buckets of measurements that I look at every day. The tactics, or what have we done differently because of what's happened in 2020? Honestly, we've been not prepared for a pandemic by no means, but prepared for more automation and more and higher touch communication with improved technology. So when I started putting the business plan together for SeaTrust, it was all about getting the latest, the fastest, the most streamlined technology. So you could pick off a shelf many different, shrink wrapped versions of technology and try to put it all together, but does it really fit? Is it really mesh? Does it fit the culture of your organization? And so we spent about a good year, 18 months before we did our first loan to make sure that all pieces integrated, nothing was broken, and we could actually improve the process technology-wise as seamless as possible. So that's allowed us, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hits, and now we're 2020, pandemic hits. We've got people working remote, we got people from home, and honestly, we pulled up our laptops and our cameras and we went to work, and things were working. And it was the preparation prior to that. Obviously, we did this just to make it a better consumer experience. And the pandemic actually forced us into actually plugging in and turning on all that technology we work so hard for, and it's working. And it's changed. It's a game changer. It's changing the way you're going to get a mortgage. The way we market ourselves is changing every day. The way we provide the product changes every day. This is just a really exciting time to be in the mortgage industry as well as the real estate industry, because there's so many good changes coming along. So what are my productivity boosts that I cannot live with each day? One is exercise. I have got to wake up in the morning every day. I've got to stretch. I've got to work out. I've got to get the endorphins going. Coffee is helpful, obviously, and that, I got to have my cup of coffee. However, if I don't have exercise building my natural endorphins up, then forget about the rest of my productivity tips. I'm useless that day. So it's to be intentional with that. The other, to me, is I build myself with energy and energy around me. So when I come in, I have got to say hello to every employee that's in the office, and I've got to high five them. I've got to make sure, look them in the whites of the eyes and make sure that they know that I care about them. And I genuinely want to feed the energy off of them to see what they've got planned for the day. Because that juices me up, that gets me built up. So being engaged with the employee, with my inner self, my mind, body, and spirit, and then getting connected with my teammates. That's my number one asset that I have, is the team that we have. And then, then you've got technology. My computer's got to open up and it's got to work. So those are some of the technical side, but honestly, the biggest booster for me is the mind, body, spirit in the morning, the health, the exercising, and then getting engaged with my teammates. If I don't do both of those, I find myself less productive as the day goes on. Well, so of course, if I have an acceptance speech, I've got to thank God, like everyone does. But to me, it goes beyond that. It's very spiritual. That when you've been in the mortgage business for 30 years, you've experienced, 1998 credit crisis. You've experienced 2007, 2008 credit crisis, and there's a lot of blips in between. When you escape both of those, you got to have faith that somebody's on your side. So that's obviously extremely important to me. My family, my kids, my wife, those are the ones. That's the backbone that that tells me to go do it and be the leader and the president you are. And then my teammates. I've mentioned earlier that my team is my number one asset at work. So, we're only as good as the team that we put together and the values that we share. And when I walk in every day and I see the team sharing the values and explaining how our culture can affect the outcome and the decisions that we make each day, it's really special to me. And I've had experiences in the past with awards. In fact, this story, I was runner-up at the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and it was really neat seeing all the employees that were all around, networking, speaking the same language, talking about the culture of the business. So those are the things so God, family, and my team.
Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe for more updates from Top of Mind.